Oh my gosh, hi. Hello. Hi. It's been a while, hasn't it? I decided to continue my collegiate education like a idiot, and here we are. Hi, welcome back. Long time no see. Let's just get right into it. Welcome to another episode of Paladins vs Overwatch, a series where I pit similar champions against one another to see who comes out on top. Usual disclosure, I'm focusing on their in-game performances, nothing that really happens outside of that. Champions will be rated based on their lore, smash ability, and how effective their abilities are in-game. And just keep in mind, this is all my opinion, which is 100% correct, but feel free to try and defend your faves in the comments. All right, let's get into it with our next battle. Rogues. Genji versus Maeve. Genji Shimada, the Sparrow. In his early life, Genji enjoyed the commodities that his wealthy family provided to him. He trained to become a ninja of the criminal Shimada clan, but had little drive to do anything with his skills. This lack of drive put Genji in the shadow of his older brother, Hanzo. After their father's death, Hanzo confronted Genji to convince him to take a stronger role in the family clan. Genji refused, and the brothers fought. Hanzo was superior, nearly killing Genji in the process. As far as Hanzo was concerned, he had killed Genji. His body was narrowly recovered, and, with his consent, Genji was rebuilt into a cyborg by Dr. Angela Ziegler. As repayment, he'd assist Blackwatch in taking down his family clan. With his newfound power brought about by his cybernetic alterations, Genji was a living weapon. He eventually confronted his brother, revealing he was still alive, and the two made an uneasy reconciliation. With a new outlook on the world, Genji joined Overwatch with a new mission. He wanted to protect the weak, rather than assault the strong. Maeve of Blades. A Tigron-human hybrid, Maeve was orphaned her entire life. She grew up learning how to survive by herself through any means necessary. Stealing and fighting took up most of her time until eventually she'd put her skills for sale. Her innate agility, thanks to her Tigron blood, helped her get in and out of almost anywhere she desired. Her swift fingers kept her virtually unnoticed, and her magical longcoat brings darkness to whoever she wants to hide from them. Maeve works for herself at the end of the day. She only has her best interests in mind. Maybe if you're unlucky enough, you'll get in the way of those interests. Genji just has more lore. More lore. Lots more lore. Maeve really doesn't have a lot about her at all. I could be clever and say it's meta, you know, she's so secretive, she's so stealthy that nobody knows anything about her, but to be honest, it's just because Paladin's lore is kind of trash. They barely give a glance to their older champions. Genji's lore adds a lot of depth to his character and explains his abilities really well, whereas Maeve's just kind of makes you take their word for it, you know? Point, Genji. Round 2, smash or pass. In my eyes, Maeve is practically a child. Fun fact, apparently she doesn't even know how old she is. The closest we get is young adult, so I'm just not even gonna rank her. Don't really feel comfortable doing that. Now, Genji, on the other hand, I don't think I can put into words how intense this smash is. And I'm sure there are many of you who can agree with me. Smash. Smash day and night, you know, frontwards, backwards, upside down, doggy style, smash. Point Genji.
No condom, skin on skin. On the living room, on the bedroom, on the fridge, on the closet, on the ceiling, on the walls, on the bathroom, on the couch.
And now for the juicy bit, their abilities. Starting off with their in-hand weapons, Maeve has her daggers. Jeez. Maeve throws out 2 throwing knives at a soft arc that have no ammo count whatsoever. Genji has his shurikens. He throws out 3 shurikens in either a wide fan or a straight line. This weapon does have an ammo count and a reload speed of 1.5 seconds. Both abilities are pretty solid in their effectiveness. They both get the job done to the same degree, I think. The lack of needing to reload in a fast-paced game like Paladins or Overwatch is definitely really handy. But overall, I think the versatility that Genji's weapon provides him really gives him the edge here. The ability to adapt to different situations on the dime makes the character really more fun to play. Point Genji. Next up, each champion's evasive ability. Genji has Swift Strike. Genji dashes forward and through enemies, dealing damage and resetting the cooldown if used to finish off an enemy. Hi, it's a couple days later and I realized I made some mistakes, so here we go. Firstly, I got confused with the wording of Genji's dashy Swift Strike ability. Any elimination resets the cooldown, not just eliminations with that ability, so teehee. Maeve has Pounce. Maeve shoots forward, dealing damage to and bouncing backwards off of any enemy she hits. With Maeve's talent Rogue's Gambit, she also can reset the cooldown with an elimination. It's worth noting this reset happens with any elimination, not just those gotten with Pounce. Genji doesn't have quite as many abilities as Maeve, so I'm going to throw in Maeve's other evasive ability, which is called Prowl. For 5 seconds, Maeve's jump height is increased and her movement speed is increased by 50%. This ability ends when any other ability is used. They both pretty much accomplish the same thing as both an evasive, repositioning, and engaging tool. I do think though, bouncing backwards off of an enemy is better as an engagement tool than going through an enemy. That way you don't have to really turn around and refocus on them, you're kind of already focused on them. Also, the rest of Maeve's kit really helps her stay airborne longer, so she's always kind of up in the air, a lot harder to hit. And while it does make it harder to hit enemies, it makes her more rewarding to play when you do. And in terms of just movement abilities in general, Maeve has 2, Genji has 1, so... And honestly, when going from both champions back to back, Maeve's aerial mobility is so much nicer than Genji's. Like, using your dash for mobility as Maeve is so much smoother as Genji's. When you use your Swift Strike for mobility as Genji, you're kind of left with like your foot up your ass for a second, you know? Whereas Maeve is very snappy. As soon as you dash, you get all of your like mobility back in terms of moving your camera. Genji, on the other hand, it just really doesn't feel like that. It feels a lot more clunky. So I just want to reiterate even more, Maeve's mobility is much better. Genji's Swift Strike is really designed to be a finishing tool and not so much as a mobility aid. While it can be used as such, Maeve does it a lot better. Point Maeve. Now we're gonna go on to their defensive ability. Maeve has 9 lives. Maeve resets all of her cooldowns and heals herself. Genji has Deflect. For 2 seconds, Genji deflects any incoming projectiles back to the sender. Both abilities have their moments, but they're vastly different in terms of how they're actually used in gameplay. Having a complete cooldown reset mid-fight is just a game changer, in my opinion. With your evasive abilities reset, you can try and escape, continue to chase the enemy, or use another pounce to get even further into the air. Meanwhile, Genji is kind of just left there if his cooldowns aren't done by the time Deflect ends. Also, you can even make it so you get damage resistance and heal when you use 9 lives with Maeve's cards. 9 lives is just more versatile and I feel like it comes in handy more often. Point Maeve. I'm flipping it around from the usual order here. We're gonna do passive ability and then ultimate ability because I feel like the ultimate ability should be last, you know? Passive ability! Wow, who saw that coming? Genji's passive ability is Cyber Agility. Nerd. Genji gains an extra jump and is able to climb walls. Genji gains an extra jump. Genji gains an extra jump. Genji gains an extra jump. Genji gains an extra jump and Genji gains an extra jump and is able to climb walls. Maeve's passive ability is unnamed for some reason. Maeve also gets a double jump. That's her passive is she gets a double jump too. That's it, really. They're both pretty much the same thing. I mean, they both double jump and Genji can climb walls too. However, Maeve is able to jump before and after using Pounce, so you can jump again, pounce, and then jump again. Genji's double jump can only reset if you actually hit the ground. And also, wall jumping is a thing in Paladins where if you jump against some sort of physical object, you will jump higher. And this is really useful on Maeve, especially when combining it with her double jump and prowl. Still though, I think being able to wall climb and double jump is a bit more useful. But Maeve's double jump really goes with her kit really well, you know? This is a hard one, honestly. Genji's does more at base, but Maeve's does more when combined with her kit, you know? But then again, the double jump and dash with Genji also works out really well. I think I just have to give them both a point for this one, because I can't decide, honestly. Point both, because you know, it's my video and I can do what I want, so shut up. And lastly, we come to their ultimate abilities. Maeve's ultimate is called Midnight. Enemies within a large range around Maeve, that's hard to say, have their vision reduced to a 30 unit radius for 4 seconds. Genji's ultimate is Dragon Blade. Nerd. I'm sorry, his abilities sound so, like they're the nerdiest possible names you could give a character. I'm sorry. Genji wields his sword once again. He delivers high damage output for 9 seconds. These ultimates are both kind of different, so it's really hard to determine a winner here. Maeve's ultimate synergizes with her kit wonderfully. She's able to move a lot to take advantage of the team's blindness. Not to mention the enemies are blind too. Everything. It's just darkness all around them. So not only does Maeve benefit from the ult, but her entire team does as well. Genji's ult requires careful planning, timing, and aiming to work properly. But at the end of the day, it is kind of just a rage mode ult, which I'm not a big fan of, kind of boring in my opinion. I think since Maeve's ult benefits her entire team and really synergizes with her kit, she deserves the point here. Point Maeve. Final verdict. Genji 4, Maeve 4. I'm really sorry to do this, but it's another tie. I can't. I do want to say though, the only reason it's a tie is because Genji won the Smasher Pass round. Maeve and Genji are both wonderful at what they do. They're efficient and effective flanks with high mobility and lethal projectiles, so they're both fun to play and have a decent skill ceiling to them. Genji is hotter, you know, but at the end of the day, both are worth trying out. Their playstyles are similar but distinct. And once you get down to the details, I don't think you can really compare them as much as one might think. Genji couldn't be Maeve and Maeve couldn't be Genji. They both have distinct roles to fill. I just want to add to my closing statement that if you like to be in the air a lot more, Maeve is definitely your friend. She has a lot of an easier time getting vertical, whereas Genji really doesn't have that as much. Sure, yeah, he can double jump and wall climb, but the way Maeve spends time in the air just comes across a lot more smoothly, a lot easier, and just a lot, it feels better. She's more snappy with it when she's in the air. Genji is kind of just like floating while Maeve is dashing, you know? At the end of the day, this one is another tie. Genji and Maeve both win. I really need to be more aggressive with this stuff because this is the second tie we've had. I'm sorry. I mean, you might have more insight than me. What do y'all think? Tell me in the comments who you think actually is the better one. Is it Maeve because she has pink hair? Is it Genji because he has abs? Like, let me know. That's gonna wrap it up for this video though. If you do want to see more of me, I'm very active on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. Sorry about this long hiatus between things. I was at college and I'm most likely going to be at college again in the spring, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to get another video out anytime soon. We'll see what happens. We're just gonna live, laugh, love. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more of what I post here on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. Apparently that does things, I don't know, or you can just look through my page. I don't really care. There's links for all my socials down below, including my Discord, which exists. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Bye, have a great time. Wait, hold on. Almost forgot. Who's gonna be stepping into the ring next? I wonder who. Do you think there's any more recent debacles that have happened of similar champions being released in both games that I might need to cover? Play the trailer.
Finally, things are getting interesting. I am unstoppable!
Bye, see you, thank you, bye!